What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are still having a great summer. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a film that just came out just very recently, a film that many people are excited about, but yet many people are very mixed on, and that is F9, the brand new Fast and Furious movie. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year, aside from Dune and a couple of other films that hopefully I'll get to be talking about later on this year. So, this film was also directed by Justin Lin, and if you guys don't know, he directed Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, I was very excited to basically watch this movie because he basically is the one who created two of my favorite films in the franchise, one that I'll be reviewing later. So basically, this film brings back the entire cast from the previous films, and basically Dom's brother Jacob is now targeting Dom by Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, who went after the group in Fate of the Furious, and they're trying to go after some sort of computer magnet sort of thing. Yeah, can't remember too much about this film. So, granted, with this movie, I was a tad disappointed by it. Now, here's what I will say. There still has yet to be a film in this franchise that I dislike. Now, while I don't dislike this movie, it is one of the more disappointing films in the franchise, in my opinion. It is better. Like, I'm more likely to watch this than a couple of other of the films in the franchise, but this one, it was a bit disappointing for me. Now, granted, I'll get into my positives really quick first. For one thing, for positives, I do like the idea of the new car stunts in this film. Many people say this one goes way too over the top. Like, the fact that there was a joke going around for this film that some people were saying, like, oh yeah, one day they're just going to go into space. They did. They went into space. I actually liked that idea of the movie. I liked how silly it was. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Where are they going to go from here? But I do like the idea of them going into space. I thought it was kind of funny. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take it. I can take it. Some people can't. Some people are very mixed in this film. But I can take it. I can take the idea of them going into space. It's no problem for me. Like, there's a scene where they're being chased through a minefield in the jungle, and it's like there's one point where Letty gets caught by one of the cars. That was a little silly in my opinion, but still, I was able to accept it because, for one thing, going into this film, I was expecting way over the top action, some good humor, and kind of a touching story. This movie nailed a few of those. For one thing, the touching story did not really work for me. But let's get into my next positive. I like how they brought Han back in this film. Granted, I like that they brought Han back, but the way they decided to bring him back did not work for me. So those are really my only positives with this film. There's a lot of other stuff I got problems with. Okay, back to the brother dynamic between Dom and Jacob. I don't like how they included so many flashbacks with this, because I get they wanted an origin story for Dom and Jacob, but granted, I don't think the movie quite nailed it correctly, because when I was watching this movie, after watching the opening racing scene, I kept asking myself, am I watching a Fast and Furious film or am I watching a different racing movie? Because it didn't feel like Fast and Furious in my opinion. Now, granted, I wasn't bored. I was actually interested, but it didn't feel like Fast and Furious to me. So I wasn't really that interested. They keep bringing up that flashback multiple times throughout the film. Well, they didn't overdo it. It did not feel Fast and Furious to me. So they could have reworked them a little bit. I won't say omit them entirely, but I will say work on them just a little bit more. They could have done that. So that's why it didn't really work for me, in my opinion. Another thing that did not work for me was that, Charlize Theron played Cypher in Fate of the Furious. Yeah, she hardly does anything in this movie. Here's the thing. I thought she was going to be the main bad guy, and she was going to be telling Jacob what to do throughout the film. While she is telling him what to do, they basically just put her off to the side, and she's just in like a glass box throughout the whole movie, and it did not work for me. I was like, come on, have her do something. Granted, she does do something at the final minutes of the movie, but it's so short and so quick that I was like, great, why even have her in the movie? I felt she didn't need to be in the movie if she was going to be in that short of a role. It did not work. So, granted, that was something that also did not work for me. Another thing that did not work for me And probably the one thing in this film that pissed me off the most was the way that they brought Han back. Now, granted, the fact they brought him back, I like. I like him as a character. I thought he was good in Tokyo Drift, and I liked him in 5 and 6. But the way that they brought him back in this movie did not work. Now, in case there's going to be spoilers. I'm going to spoil it for you. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I do recommend you do. And if you do not want to know what happens and you still haven't seen the movie yet, I would suggest you probably skip like a good minute of this video. Skip like a good minute of it, starting now. So basically, Han was working with with Mr. Nobody for a little bit, and it's like they basically like made his death kind of like a simulation. Yeah. And I don't get it at all. It seriously does not make any sense to me. Go ahead. If you watch the movie and you get it completely, please explain it to me. Please comment below. Because I don't get it. I did not get it at all. Now, you guys, those are my thoughts on F9. While this isn't necessarily a bad film, it is one of the more disappointing films in the franchise for me. It's not at the very bottom of my list. I still have a bottom, like 2 or 3 maybe. There's like probably 2 or 3 films that I like just a little bit less than this movie. But granted, I did have a bit of fun watching it, and well, I wish that they would have done some stuff differently. Hopefully they do a lot better with Fast and Furious 10 and 11. And now I just found out that Fast and Furious 10 will be split into 2 films. So technically that's why we're getting an 11th film. So it'll be split into 2. I'm very excited for that. So guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. My final grade for F9 is going to be a B-. I like it just enough to enjoy it. It's fine. This is a fine film. It's not bad. You can name any reasons why you dislike this movie or why you think it's one of the worst films in the franchise, and I can't disagree with you. I will agree with whatever you say. Now, guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to my next review, which will be Fast and Furious 6. Now, once I review every film in the franchise, once I review Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, and Hobbs and Shaw, I will do a ranking of all 10 films, hopefully within the coming week. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please comment below which other films you'd like me to review while I'm reviewing these, or once I'm done with these. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.